We talk about sales, service, and support, and that's really important within the 3S system. But one of the things is what happens when you need help, or how do you do it on your own? I'm going to give you some ideas in this video, basically payment structure, job role structure, and just give you an overall idea on how you may want to start out and then how you might want to build, grow, and then scale your agency. We have an awesome SaaS Pro Facebook group. We also have guides in here. We give away lots of free stuff. So be sure to jump in our Facebook group, facebookgroup.com/groups/SaaS Pro, and we'll see you inside the group. Let's take a look at this. So I've got sales, service, and support. And you'll see right here, we've got 100% commission with a draw. We've got a low base plus commission. This is a great way to start when it comes to hiring somebody for your sales team. Now, I'll get into this in just a second, but over here in service, you're going to see I've got 45K to 60K, and then support, you're going to see I've got 60K to 75K. If you're like me, I'm trying to grow my business where everybody that works for me gets 75K a year. I think that's just awesome. I've seen a business owner do that, and I've heard it's awesome, but I also get economics, different industries, you can't always pay that much. And so I understand that, but this is your base of what would be done based on their roles. In sales, if we were looking at 100% commission and a draw, a low pace plus commission, you're really wanting a salesperson or an account manager. What's the difference between the two? Well, a salesperson just goes out and gets the sale. So they would be 100% commission with the draw. An account manager might handle some of these service duties or service roles. So you might want to do a low base plus a commission because they're really going to be doing a lot more hands-on. They're not just selling and bringing in and passing it on. What they're doing is they're selling it, they're managing it, maybe they're onboarding the customer for you and then handing it off to the tech team or the creative team or whatever. So it really just depends on how you want to bring in somebody. But you're like, oh, you know what? Kathy, I'm not even ready for this. Well, that's why I brought this down here. So if you're looking at this, I have a little line drawn here. And what I have is if you are a solo owner and you can't even fathom doing this right now, this is a great place to start. If you're just now starting out and it's you, your husband, wife, partner, it's just a couple people or just you, then your sales, you want to automate. You want to build in automation, maybe do some ad spends, have a calendar, workflow, a course and help, things to support you until you can bring on somebody to take over that role. That's the best way to do this when you're a solo. So if you look at sales right here, you've got your salesperson, your account manager. You can also have a title called a business development, which really is just an overglorified account manager and salesperson combined, but they can help a lot more with this. Again, paying a higher base plus commission. It really just depends on you and what you're wanting them to do and really how much funds you have to have a service team or a service individual or a support team and a support individual. What are the roles of a salesperson? Well, they're going to do a demo, show the software, teach them how to use it. They're going to collect the payment, and then they're going to manage the customer quarterly business review. That's what a salesperson should do when it comes to managing a SaaS Pro software, because software isn't going to go away. They're going to have questions. They're going to need help. They're going to need a tech team. A lot of people love to just go to that one person. So when you have a salesperson that manages their selected accounts, they're going to that one person. Then you can also come over to the service side and you can have an admin. Their titles would be customer success manager, maybe a client success manager, depends on how you do your business, automation software, or if you're actually doing more services, more hands-on, more done for you type services like building a website, building a funnel for your customers. If it's just the software, the customer success manager is great at being that liaison after the sale to go in and basically onboard the customer. So their roles will be onboarding the customer, training how-tos, maybe doing a data import, maybe loading up the snapshot. It's very minimal on the service side. Think of this as customer service, but with more tech knowledge. That's the kind of person that you're going to want to have in this role. Somebody that learns the software, not on how to build a website, but really how to communicate what needs to be done next, getting that customer set up, setting up their email, setting up their phone, importing their data, loading up a snapshot based on their industry, whatever it is that you want that person to set up. Now, let's come over here to support. So you got support. Well, remember in my 3S system, support isn't always tech support. Tech support is important. You got to have tech support. You got to have somebody to answer those questions, right? Q&A. Something goes wrong, needs to be fixed. You got to have somebody on the back end. With HighLevel, if you're running this on your own, guess what? Your tech support's HighLevel. If you've got a team and you're running a lot of customizations, you really should have somebody in technical support or have some type of help or course or something that your customers can reference. Support does have tech support, but when I talk about support in the 3S system, in SaaS, software as a service, your creative team has to consist of these if you're offering digital media marketing services. Within creative, you need somebody that's going to write your content, who's going to do your website, who's going to design it, put the logos on it, SEO code it, who's building the workflows, who's building the funnels, who's building the campaigns, who's doing social media marketing, who is responsible for the ad copy and the video. Well, guess what? If you're a solo, you're all of these people. Eventually, the idea is that you can start out here by automating just a few simple things. You can bring on a VA services for onboarding. There's tons of people out there that will help you onboard with HighLevel. You can bring on a VA for setting up training, train them, teach them, and then they talk to your customers. I really recommend doing this in-house, but there's a lot of great VAs out there that will help you with your onboarding training, and they know enough about HighLevel to get them into that system. You can even get VA services here that'll help you do the tech work. You can buy snapshot, you can buy funnels, you can buy all kinds of things. Look in the marketplace, they're everywhere. So if you're doing this on your own and you're starting on your niche, this is the best place to start because you're really kind of building up that revenue. Once you get to that 100 customer mark, maybe even sooner, depending on how you're pricing your products and services, once you get to that building where you're, okay, I've built it, I've got a good base, I've got my salary, now I want to bring in some people, that's when it's time to start building your team. And building your team could be starting with VA services, which I strongly recommend. It's a great learning experience having a VA service because you start to realize that you thought you knew everything about your business, but then when you start taking what's out of your brain and start showing somebody else, there's a learning curve here. Great to do and utilize that learning curve here before you start trying to hire people. You want them to like you. So I really recommend it. You know, they've got part-time VA services, they got full-time VA services. One of the VA services I strongly recommend is a company called Carpe Diem. They actually have a whole team that help you out, which is really great, and it really gets you thinking about all the areas that you can get help with within HighLevel. It's almost like you have a full-time team with you. Did this, loved it, really helped me get to the growth stage. So right here, you get all this done, you get your revenue up, it's awesome. Okay, now we got to start looking at the sales people. Now we got to start looking at the service people. Now we got to start looking at the support team. How are we going to bring this in? Other ways you can do this is, so you're always going to have somebody to sell. That's why I love starting with ad spends. But if you do start with that salesperson, you want to make sure that that salesperson is trained. They know exactly what you're selling. They know HighLevel inside and out, meaning feature, functions, benefits. They're able to do a demo, click a link, collect a payment, and basically manage those customers on a quarterly or a monthly basis. Now let's talk about sales commission while we're on the sales topic. So sales commission, my recommendation is to shoot for a 25,000 sales goal. Inside the course, I have a worksheet for you so you can look and see what our percents are based on their growth within the company. But if you look at $25,000 in sales on the spreadsheet, it says 25% commission. They're averaging around $67.50, which is awesome. It's a little over $75K. That's where you want your salesperson, your magic salesperson to be. Okay, so all right, Kathy, I got the spreadsheet. I get it. I'm going to pay my people. But how do I help them sell to get to these numbers when they start on board? Well, of course, me being a salesperson, I'm going to tell you the numbers. So if you look at my previous whiteboard videos, when it comes to selling or managing your packages, If you do the 297, which competes with ClickFunnels, Podium, Thrive, all those people, you would need 85 customers. That's going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. That salesperson's going to bust it to get that kind of money. The other way is by getting 50 customers at a 497 package. Now, I want you to think about how you're packaging your services, but this is just on the low end based on HighLevel, simplified pricing to help you really get to those numbers. Now, the other thing is by selling only 9 $29.70, which is yearlies. That's the 297, 2 months free, and only getting 9 of these a month. Now remember, business grows just like sales. So this year, they might start off with 10,000, 5,000. They're going to grow and grow and grow. And as these keep going, this time next year, not only will they have those people, they'll have more people. So they're going to grow their income. They're going to grow their percent. If you look at the chart, it's going to be pretty awesome. But to get them in, we want to incent them to go for yearlies. You get that commitment. You're set up. It's good to go. Next year, they renew, or they can go down to monthly. This is the lowest. What if they're doing $49.70? So hopefully you get the idea on how to reach those sales numbers. Like I said, look at the Excel spreadsheet for the percent breakdown. I think I do go over that a little bit in another video. If you do 100% commission draw and you get them in, maybe you build your business to a certain amount until you know you've got a decent amount to give them a good draw if you just want them to sell. My recommendation is bring somebody in that can sell and that's willing to learn a little bit more about the software and understand the onboarding process, because then you don't have to bring this person in yet. You can bring that admin person in later when this salesperson gets busy, and then you're ready to bring in another salesperson. Then you have now a spot for this person making this many salaries, having a customer or client success manager who can then help you manage not one salesperson, but 2. And then this person is taking in all the sales and onboarding them and setting them up. And that's kind of how you want to do it. You want to basically load up your team as you begin to grow. So whether it's automation, VA services at the beginning, then automation, and I'll hire one VA, then okay, now I'm making enough money, I'm going to hire one salesperson. Now I need a customer success person. Now we've got customer success. We really need somebody to come in and do this so we can start to scale and grow and have somebody post our social media ads, have somebody do our Facebook ads, have somebody record our video content, create our websites, funnels. Then you start to bring in that creative team. You want to grow at the pace that your sales are growing. So if sales, one person is bringing in $25K a month based on your base, then you know, okay, now they're selling this much. I can bring in another person. Now I want to bring in 2 more people in sales, 3 more people in sales. I'm going to need another person here. And you kind of hire when it hurts. When this customer success manager is saying, oh my gosh, I can't do all my onboardings, you're going to know, okay, these salespeople are doing a really great job. We need to bring in another success person. And maybe you just have 6 salespeople, 2 customer success people, and maybe you just have one person that handles your content and creative and one person that handles your social and ads. So you can see how easy that is to power that up when it comes to powering up your team. A lot of people go and say, okay, now I only want to spend minimum wage or whatever an hour. And I've looked at interns, and I love that idea of bringing in interns, but the ultimate goal is you want quality people. And the only way to hire quality people is to pay them a quality price. You pay people what they're worth. That's really the bottom line. And you bring them in and you keep them as you grow. And the final thing that I like to talk about when it comes to sales, service, and support is that when my team is rocking it, I love to do holiday bonus at the end of the year. And I do a bonus based on percent of where my team's at and the percent of profit. 1, I don't have to pay as many taxes because it becomes a bonus. And 2, I need that, right? We all need the write-offs. Another thing that you can think about too is adding on awesome, once you start to grow and you start to get your feel of how the money's working and how it's all pulling together, you can start to offer incentives like 50% health insurance. You can get deductions on that. Talk to your tax accountant. You can start offering benefits, matched 401k, and then now you've begun to scale your business and everybody within the business is getting benefits and you're giving them nice salaries and all that good stuff. When I talk about sales, service, and support, it's really important that you understand how you're going to pay people. What are their roles? What are they doing for you? What are they doing based on your services? And then, of course, we want to make sure that we've got the roles aligned with how many customers you're bringing in, whether you're automating it and growing it yourself, or whether you're growing to a team, it's the best way to start. And I put this at the bottom because I really wanted you to see the ultimate goal if you want to have a company that has been built, grows, and scales inside of your sales, service, and support. And that's the best way I can explain to get started. And hopefully I've given you lots of great ideas. Be sure to check out the sales commission spreadsheet inside the course. Inside the course, it's a Google Doc. You can download it, make it your own, and you can see what we've done with regards to sales commission and the percents. I also, like I said, have that on another video, so feel free to watch that. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that helps you with your sales, service, and support scaling with the power of either doing this on your own as a solopreneur or bringing in teams. We'll see you on the next video.